position. Rise up, make that decision. God will provide all your needs. He wants you to succeed. Have faith of a mustard seed. Get up on your feet. Rise up.
Welcome to the Drexwell Seymour Show. Today, my guest is Mr. Gary Lightbourne, who was a professional boxer. We're going to talk about him today, and he's going to share his story about his boxing career. We're also going to talk about the impact that boxing has on individuals. We also want to talk about what plans are in place, to carry this boxing career here in the Turks and Caicos Islands. We'll be training young people to become boxers. And with that said, I just want to take this opportunity to welcome Mr. Gary Lightbourne to the Drexwell Seymour Show. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mr. Seymour.
Well, thank you for accepting the invitation to be on the show. Before we get into the meat of our conversation, tell the viewers, who is Gary Lightbourne?
Well, I'm Gary Lightbourne, born in North Caicos in the 50s.
All right.
In the 50s, had the opportunity after school to go to join the police force, or
Oh, really?
to join the police force, went sailing or go on the bank, fish.
Mm-hmm.
I took the opportunity to go sailing. So in 1972, I went sailing. I sailed from 1972 to 1978.
Oh, wow. I was 2 years old in 1972.
Right? So I sailed from 1972 to 1978. My first sailing was to Jamaica and Haiti.
So you were sailing from Turks and Caicos?
From Turks and Caicos, we had a fish boat we used to run into Jamaica called the Matty Scene from Charles Luton Gardner. He was the captain, so we used to take fish from Turks and Caicos Island to Jamaica.
I see. Okay, so we trade the fish.
We traded the fish.
And then what did we get from Jamaica?
Well, we used to bring back fruits and stuff from Jamaica.
Oh, wow.
And we did the same thing in Haiti. Mm-hmm. We used to go on the bank, fish, come and take the Haiti.
Wow.
And after I get into liking that, I had the opportunity to go sailing, with Captain Rio Swan. He used to come back and forward home. He was the captain of West India Shipping. And I had the opportunity to go sailing with Captain Swan.
Okay.
So I sailed for 6 years, and that's what propelled me to boxing.
Okay, so tell us some of the places you sailed to.
Well, I sailed through the Middle East. I went to Egypt, I went to Israel, I went to Iran,
Oh, wow.
I went to Pakistan, I went to Japan, I went to Greece, Spain, to the Rock of Gibraltar. As a matter of fact, all over there in every country in Southern Central America. We used to sail Southern and Central America just like how the ships come here for tropical. We used to carry stuff from Raspon Beach. Our headquarters was in Raspon Beach in Houston, Texas. So we used to keep a truck, we used to carry heavy equipment into mostly Venezuela. As a matter of fact, to ship overseas from Venezuela.
Okay.
And all the islands through the Caribbean, we used to carry equipment from the ABC Islands, Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao, to Jamaica, to Cayman, to Cuba, to the Bahamas, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, and Haiti. And every island toward Trinidad, Barbados, Antigua, St. Kitts, Montserrat, Nevis,
Well traveled.
and Puerto Rico, St. Thomas and Croix, all over the place there. Guyana, Suriname, and Brazil, all over the place there. We used to carry heavy equipment, stuff just like the boat out of Florida now, bring the food and equipments and cars and stuff. We used to do that throughout the Caribbean back in the 70s.
Okay, that's impressive.
Right? And from there, that's what propelled me to boxing.
So how did it propel you to boxing?
Well, the experience of it, and then in 1978, because back then they had the TV with antenna TV, and you used to watch occasionally boxing on antenna. You had to be close enough from the antenna. So, 1978, Lara Holmes fight Ocasio in Puerto Rico, and I watched Lara Holmes fight Ocasio, and I watched this big guy moving real smooth, and I said, wow, I think I would be a fighter.
Okay.
Right? And that's how I really gravitate towards fighting, by watching Lara Holmes fight Ocasio in 1978.
That's an important point you make, because that just shows you how television and videos and songs can impact people.
Right.
You know, you watch that and that propelled you to become a boxer. Just like our kids are watching stuff.
To boxing. And at the end of 1978, I said, boy, this ain't what I really want to do.
The sailing.
Sailing. So we went to Japan. When we come back from Japan, we 1 month in Japan, 1 month in Venezuela, and 1 month on dry dock. And I said, boy, I don't want to do this. Right? So when we get in Houston, the captain, right, everybody want to go shore. And I went shore. I used to hold the 8 to 12 watch. And that was the captain watch. So when I come back on board, the captain tell me he loved me. Because I was 15 minutes late. Captain tell me he loved me for 2 days. Man, I get fired up. He loved me for 2 days. For anybody who don't understand what logging is.
No, I just want to ask you to explain that.
Logging is taking 2 days of your pay.
Oh, he took two.
Right?
Okay.
Take 2 days of your pay after you wasn't getting paid a lot by the month. Because you used to get paid every month back then. And after not getting paid, your full month pay, I get real mad. Log for 2 days, and I say, you know what? I quit. I tell the captain, I say, I quit. I say, I think it's time for me to move on. Because if it's get to this, I don't want to be here no more. And he tried to talk me into it. I said, no, he'd say he ain't gonna love me no more after that. Right? After I stand up, I say, he said he was not gonna love me. I say, you know what? Just for the idea, I think it's time for me to move on. So I tell him, I said, what you can do for me is have my stuff ready, right? Which is my paycheck and all that stuff, and I can move on. So he called the office back then. I used to be the bosun on the Inaugural Tide. Bring it over, but brand new. And after that, he called the office, and the office tried to get me to stay. And I tell him, no, I don't want to stay no more, right? I had other plans. So I leave from Houston, Texas. We was in Orange, Texas on dry dock. I leave Orange, Texas, and went to Miami. Never been in a boxing gym in my life. Never even see a boxing gym. And I here with the boxing gym on Fifth Street, Washington, on Miami Beach, which is owned by Angela Dundee and Chris Dundee, which was brothers. If you might have heard the name Angela Dundee through Muhammad Ali and Sugar Ray Leonard and those guys. So I went in the gym, but to see what I like and watch. First people I ever see in my life, Lara Holmes. And the gym moving around. And I told the guy I want to be a fighter. I look at him and say, you want to be a fighter? I didn't know a left hook from a fish hook. I say, yeah, I want to be a fighter. I didn't even have a pair of gloves. So I bought a pair of gloves for $20, 20 US dollars. And
This was in 78.
this was 1978, the end of 78, December, right? And he said, let me see what you got. I started hitting the bag and think I'm trying to impress the guy. Man, I get so tired I couldn't believe it, right? My arms feel like they was gonna drop off. And the guy say, look, man, you're no fighter. He look at me and say, stop. Say, you're no fighter, but you could be a fighter.
Okay.
I said, wow, if I could be one, then
That's good potential.
that's good for me. That's a start,
encouraging.
right? That's a start for me. So he told me go and come back January 2nd, 1979. Right? I didn't go back. Instead of that, I went to Freeport. I leave.
So
No,
why
Kansas
didn't
and
why
Freeport.
why you didn't go back?
No, I didn't go back because I didn't think I was far enough in the game to think. So I want to go further, experience more before I get into that, because that was deep waters.
Gotcha.
You understand? That was deep water. So I went to Freeport and I pursued it. I pursued running, doing everything, and the little that I learned at the YMCA in Freeport back then. So when, in 1981, when Muhammad Ali was gonna fight Burbick in the Bahamas, Burbick come to the YMCA, checking out the places to train, and he saw me, and he inquired about me, because I was really light on my foot, and he inquired about me, and he said, I want this kid to work with me for Muhammad Ali, moving. So I said, man, that was like, great. That time I didn't know nothing but boxing.
Right.
But he took me on, and I started moving around the ring with him. And he fought Muhammad Ali, beat Muhammad Ali, and he told me he was going to send for me to Canada. So after the fight, he went back to Canada. That was December 11th. So January passed, February passed, and March, he called me asking if I ready. I say, when? I say, where? Right? He sent the ticket and everything.
Oh, wow.
So when and where? I leave my job. I was chief security at Atlantic Beach Hotel in Freeport. And I leave my job and went to Canada to pursue boxing. So I started boxing with Burbick.
So that's 82.
Yeah, that's
81.
That's 82. That was 82.
Okay.
Right? And from there, I go to New York, moving around, and I check out Don King. Back then, the promoters in New
Yes,
York.
yes.
I want to turn pro. Was Don King, was Butch Lewis, was Top Rank Boxing, was Lou Duber, which is his son was Dan Duber. He was the promoter too. So I check out all these guys looking for
An agent or something.
right? Looking for an agent. And I end up at Top Rank. I end up at Top Rank Boxing. So Top Rank took me on, and I fight with Top Rank, my first 14 fight on ESPN. So they shot, because they was giving me the best direction,
Okay.
right? Every one of my fight was on ESPN. From the 4 rounds to the 6 rounds to the 10th round. To the 10 rounds. Because when you start as a professional, because you just started and you're fresh in the game, the first is 4-round fights. Then you move on to 6-round fight. Depends on how fast you progress it. And from there, you can move to 6 round, you can move to 8 round, or you can move to 10. When you become a 10-round fighter, you become a main event fighter. So if you have a good manager, and the manager is guiding you in the right direction, you pick the right fights. So you pick the right fights, to be in the right position with the right opponents. Everybody think because it's a fighter, you can go there and fight anybody. And that ain't true. Boxing go in stages. It's just like you building a house from the foundation up. Right? You have to dig the foundation, lay the foundation, and build from there. Same thing with boxing. You start from the beginning to go to the top. And I start boxing in the gym, and I wasn't afraid. I was fearless. I wasn't afraid to get in the ring with nobody.
Well, and that's what you wanted to do anyway.
Right. I was fearless. So, not because I know the game, because I want to see how good I am. But, so I step in the ring with the best of them. I used to box with the average guys, gold medalists, and the gold medalists from the amateur boxing in New York State, Golden Gloves. I started boxing with guys like them, like Carl the Troop Williams, Eddie Gregg, and all these guys who was amateur and had my size like myself. So from there, the guys see me start to progress, right? And in 1984, Larry Holmes' trainer, which is Eddie Futch, stopped in the gym, and he saw me moving around, and he looked at me. And I hear him, it's a fighter, you listen. You pay them mind, but pay them no mind. You listen, and he was talking about me. And he said, who's this kid in the ring? So my trainer back then said, it was Gary Lightbourne. See, I would like for him to box with Larry Holmes. Larry Holmes at the time was fighting Carl Williams, right? So after I come out the ring, he asked me if I want to box with Larry Holmes. Now, all the guys trying to discourage me. So, oh man, don't box with Larry Holmes. Larry Holmes, before I started boxing him, Larry Holmes was heavyweight champion for 4.5 years. So he said, you want to box with Larry Holmes? I said, yeah. So the guys, my trainer said, oh man, you want to box with Larry Holmes? Larry Holmes can beat you up.
1 round.
Right? You say Larry Holmes can, I said, man, I got to get beat up. If Larry Holmes knocked me out twice a day, I won't go box with Larry Holmes.
Get that opportunity.
Right, I get this. It was the opportunity of a lifetime. Right? So a couple of days later, the call come to me. I was training. And the call come to me, say, you ready to go box with Larry Holmes? Right? I say, when and where? That's all the question. I say, when and where? So they had 2 tickets. They had my ticket for me to go to Reno, Nevada. So they fly me from New York to Reno, Nevada. The training camp with Larry Holmes for 3 weeks. Larry Holmes paying $5,000 a week for 3 minutes, 3 rounds a day, which is 9 minutes, right? I wasn't working in New York at the time, and I said, what? I didn't even know when I get there how much the paycheck was, right? I just want to go. So I started working with Larry Holmes, and Larry Holmes said, who is this kid? Said this kid get potential. At the time, he didn't even potential. What the word potential was at the time, right? And he looked at me, we boxed, I'm doing well with him, and the word get out around. Gary Lightbourne boxing with Larry Holmes, he's doing pretty good. Every morning, Larry Holmes will come knock on the door. Then he going jogging for me to go jogging in his entourage. So I take him, Larry Holmes take him. Like being like, keep moving with Larry Holmes. I was in training camp with Larry Holmes. Then he fight Carl Truth Williams. I was in training camp with Larry Holmes when he fight Michael Spinks. And a couple other times he move around. And then Burbick here at the time. Burbick here, but me after I leave him and went to New York. So he was fighting Mitch Green. Now it's become a unification between him and Mitch Green to fight for the heavyweight championship of the world, right? At the time, Pinklin Thomas was the WBC heavyweight champion. Now Burbick gonna fight for the WBC heavyweight champion after he fight Mitch Green. So he fight Mitch Green, that was the mandatory. He beat Mitch Green. A couple of months later, he got to fight Pinklin Thomas for the heavyweight championship. Come after me. Say, man, I want you to come box with me for Pinklin Thomas. Because I had a masterpiece, a good jab. And we went to Las Vegas this time. It's my first time in Las Vegas. Boxed with Burbick. We was in training camp for 7 weeks.
Wow. How many hours a day?
Hey, we trained we would go to the gym like 1 o'clock. We'd go from 1 to about 3:30. But leave the trainer, when you have a training camp, you're getting up in the morning 4 o'clock. You go jogging. You jog, you'll come back, relax for a while, you'll have breakfast, and later on you'll go to the gym if you were boxing. Right? You'll end up in the gym, and during the whole time in the gym, you're just training boxing. It's just boxing and working out, prepared for the fight. So we did that for 7 weeks. Burbick beat Pinklin Thomas for the heavyweight championship. Me and him was in training camp for 7 weeks, just me and him. And he had in his corner, he had Angela Dundee, he had Kit Gavilan, and he had Kit Gavilan, and Lee Black. Lee Black was the head trainer for him. And I was by myself. Guys just putting water in my mouth, putting grease on my face, and just helping me out. And then I leave there. Everybody was talking about Gary Lightbourne, Gary Lightbourne. After Burbick went there. And even after the fight, I almost knocked Burbick out in the dressing room. So that was a big thing on HBO and Showtime. Because we in the dressing room warming up. And Burbick, I'm getting him ready, warming him up. Burbick hit me with a left hook. Boom! And Burbick hit me like, I fighting him, right? So I come over, boom! I hit Burbick with a right hand and burst Burbick eye open. This seconds before he time for you to go in the ring. I didn't mean to do it, but it happened.
But that's how you reacted.
Right? And what they did, they take the makeup. What they do, there's something called butterfly. The butterfly is where you take and put on a cut. If the cut is open, you take the butterfly, you put in between it, and then you put it together. It's almost like a paste. You know, it's like you use crazy, you want something.
Right.
Something like that. And they put that butterfly thing on Burbick. And when they finish, they take makeup. Because they stop the blood, put the thing, the butterfly, and put the makeup over it. And Burbick went out there and win the heavyweight championship. He went out there and win the heavyweight championship.
I guess you caused that.
And no, he said to me, he went to Jamaica. The Prime Minister of Jamaica at the time, Michael Manley, invited us to Jamaica. And he tells you Jamaican people at the time, back then, this was 1986 leading up there. And he tell them at the time, say, if it wasn't for this man, I'll never be heavyweight champion of the world.
Wow.
Right? They fly us from Miami to Montego Bay, from Montego Bay to Kingston and helicopter. Burbick, first time. He's the first West Indian guy to win heavyweight champion of the world. Lennox Lewis and them get it. Because Burbick had already paved the way.
Yeah. But
when Lennox Lewis them come around, then everything was growing rapidly in boxing. So they get more credit. And Burbick did, but Burbick was the first West Indian to win a heavyweight championship.
Okay.
So
why did you, why didn't you continue in the sport? Why did you stop?
Well, hey, unfortunate stuff happened to me, right? Back in 88. Stuff happened that shouldn't have happened.
Oh.
But I continually working with the guys, and stuff happened that shouldn't have happened. I get put out of business.
I see.
Right? Even though I was still in the business, I couldn't fight like that.
I got you.
No more.
I got you.
So I hang around and work with
playing in the back.
Right? Hang in the back with things, because from after that, I ended up, even after all of that, I boxed with Tyson, I boxed with Holyfield, I boxed with Lewis, I boxed with Reddick Cole, I boxed with, after all of that. So that was my way of accomplishing.
Yeah. A good accomplishment, very impressive.
Right?
So, boxing seems to be a very dangerous sport. Is it dangerous?
No, boxing is not as dangerous. Boxing is a science.
Science.
Boxing is a science. Everybody think boxing is dangerous, but if you learn boxing the right way and learn the right thing, then you'll understand boxing gives you a lot of understanding of life, give you a lot of knowledge, right? It's hitting, but learning how to hit and learning how not to hit.
I see.
If you know, it's a form of self-defense, right? Boxing, the noble art of self-defense.
Okay.
And when you learn, there's so much safety to it. A lot of people think you could just go in there and step in the ring,
Right.
without going through something. To go through something, right? When you go through something, to have a testimony, you gotta go through something. If you never go through nothing, you wouldn't understand.
So it's a life journey process.
Right, it's a life journey process.
Okay.
And it doesn't matter where you come from, it's where you end up. And a lot of people have the wrong concept about boxing. Boxing is a good thing for people who don't, let's say, ain't everybody inclined to be a doctor or a lawyer, or if you're good at using your hands, it's teach you how to use your hands and your brain, right? Because you could step in front of someone and still don't know how to hit it. You learn, it's a process.
I got you.
You learn little things turn into big things. So when you train in the gym, it teach you something about yourself you don't even know that you have. They don't tell it, reveal who you are.
Right.
You understand? If you have any grit in you, trust me, we'll bring it up. Because from the time you feel your finger hurt, your arm hurt, your leg hurt,
You may want to give up.
then you want to give up. And that's, boxing will teach you about yourself.
Right. How strong you are.
Right, how strong
weak you are.
Right,
Okay.
how weak, because all you have to know, there's the other side to that little ache.
I like that.
You're not going to feel that ache every day, all the time.
It's temporary.
It's just temporary. It's just you got to go through that.
And that's a good
It's
life
like
lesson.
walking through fire.
I
You
like
understand? If you run from here and the fire is there, you could run through there, or you could take the chance and run through there. It's all about life lessons.
I like that too. I like it because it's everything we go through is temporary.
That's right.
It doesn't last forever.
No, it doesn't.
Those little bites and those little fights and little hurts and pains you have, it's not gonna last forever.
No, and that's gonna last.
Yeah, I like that.
I always tell people, tough times never last, but tough people do.
Yeah.
You understand? I remember coming to you, and I can tell you, I might have been the idea, but I thought you was the root.
When I was with Cable Wireless.
When you was with Cable Wireless, and then I come to you and I talk about the boxing, and you gave me the idea to go out there, and I put it together, and you pay for it. And I respect and admire that so much. That's why if I live 1,000 years, I'll remember Drax and Seymour.
Oh, wow.
You understand?
Oh,
if I live 1,000 years, Drax and Seymour's is the root of the progress.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
You understand? And from there, I started with Clive Stanbrook, right? Because we put it together with Clive Stanbrook, and they did something else with it. Because then that's what get me upset, because of how they did it, right? Not what they did, is how they did it, right? Because what they did is good in a way, but what I wanted to do at the time was same thing I did with you at Cable Wireless, to help the kids, because I was all over the kids, and I realized if I had the opportunity when I first started out, I would have been
Further ahead.
way further ahead if I had the teaching,
Right.
if I had
Training.
the teaching that I could give to these kids now, because I could show them the way.
Yeah.
You understand? Where I made it, I fumbled it. I fumbled my way there, but now I could show them the way.
Exactly.
Right? I could show them the way, and I encourage every parent out there with their sons, if they could support what we are doing here, they would really be surprised at the end of it, because the kid, they'll be pleased with their kids.
Yeah.
The way they perform, the way they care, and it fight against violence.
Yeah.
Even though they might think it's violent, it's not violent. Because when they start teaching and know the form and the balance of it, sometimes when the kids come in here, man, and you see in their face, when they could learn, when they know they're learning something, you could come to the gym and all that energy, all that negative energy it bring people together.
Becomes positive.
Right. It brings the kids together. Because what they want to do, they want to be a part of that. And when they see it, they understand, like, wow, this stuff ain't as bad as they say it is.
Yeah.
You understand? They see it's not as bad as they say it is. Boxing is a good thing for the young man that's coming, because it release that negative energy.
Well, we're here at the Felix Morley Community Center, and I'm very impressed. This is my first time in here since they did the renovations. And we have this boxing ring right behind us. Tell us what's happening with this in the community. What are you guys doing?
Well, what we are doing, we are outreach to the kids after school program, and it's a wonderful thing, because it's a wonderful thing after the kids, after school. There's a lot of young boys end up here in this gym, and what we do, we teach them how to box and teach them the way to get along, right? We teach them the way to get along, and don't get in trouble, right? It's your friends. Watch the friends that you keep. I try to invite everybody in the gym. Come on and see what's going on, and you would be a part of it. You could be a part of it, and that's a beautiful thing.
I like the
It
job.
doesn't matter where you come from. Doesn't matter who your family are. You understand? It's a mindset. It's changing minds. You understand? It's building. It's something you build.
Transforming.
Yeah, transforming.
So is it only for males? Females?
No, females could come. Females could just who choose to come.
Okay.
It's who choose to do it. Because everybody thinks it's all about going and they're fighting and beating up somebody. It's not that. It's learning. There's so much to learn.
Yeah.
You understand? There's so much to learn because you could have an idea and don't do nothing with it.
A lot of us in that studio.
You understand? You could have an idea and don't do nothing with it. And if you have an idea, you have a passion, make it a purpose. And that's why I try to show the kids, right? Turn it into action. That's why I try to show the kids. You got a passion, make it a purpose. It don't have to be boxing. It could be anything. But if you are passionate, if you work at it every day, you get it. Every day, if you fall down 1,000 times, fall down 100 and fall down 1,001 times, get up 1,001 times.
Yes.
The more you do it, the better you get it.
Yes.
And just keep pushing and pushing. People that never make it,
Yes.
it's the people don't go forward, don't try. So
Absolutely right.
that's the part of having this gym here. And the people I give credit to, number one, I thank God for the wisdom, the knowledge, and the understanding. I say you the root. And I'll always say you the root. And I might be the idea, but you the root. Right? And the minister, Rachel, Honorable Taylor, Jared, and
Director of Sports.
right, the director of sport, and Parker, they're instrumental in putting it together.
Yeah.
Because I invite them to Vegas, and they had to come. I invite them to Vegas to the boxing expo.
Okay.
And they come, they went, and they see what was.
Okay.
They see what was going on, and out of that traction, bring the gym.
Okay. All right.
Right.
Well, this is great. This is a great addition to the community here in 5 years. I love it. And for Turks and Caicos overall.
For the Turks and Caicos overall,
Yeah,
that's
this is
the
excellent.
purpose. That's the purpose of it.
And it's free, right?
Yeah, it's free. So it's free. And all they got to do is come and join them. What we're looking for now, when we put aside the program, we're looking for people, reliable people that want to be in the game.
Yeah.
For judges and referees, right? For judges and referees, because you need that.
Yes.
You understand? And you need that stuff in there.
But what I think they
What
should
you
do,
doing
I think they should put this in the curriculum in the schools, the sports curriculum, and then we could have competition among the schools and stuff like
Right.
that. Because in the schools, at least the children, once they start playing the game, they might
Right.
realize this is what they want to do.
Right.
You know, so I think that's what they should do.
That's a great
and
idea.
have competition among the schools.
That's a great idea, because when you look at boxing, everybody look at it as a hidden thing.
Yeah.
It's not a hidden. It's an intelligent thing.
Yeah.
You understand? Because
Yeah.
you got to use your mind.
I agree. Absolutely.
Your mind against my mind. Okay, it's just like a chess and the checkers thing. Chess and checkers, and that's what boxing is.
Yeah.
For every move you make, there's a counter move.
You're
You
right.
understand? For every move you make, there's a counter move. So it's like checkers and chess. You in the front of the guy, and you could almost see him learn how to read someone. If you could step in the front of someone and learn how to read them, it's that you could offset whatever they're trying to do.
If you imagine what their next move can be.
Move right.
Yeah.
It just is anticipation.
Yeah.
It's just so you anticipate the next guy move.
Yeah.
And if you know the basic, if you know the fundamentals, if you know and understand the fundamentals, and that's a part of I didn't have when I first started boxing.
Right.
If I had the fundamentals of boxing, I'll be heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
You know, the fundamental part of boxing is really the exciting part. You know, when you come in here and see, wow, I thought this thing was all about hitting something. But then you'll realize how awkward
Yeah.
you are when it's time to hit.
Yeah.
The speed bag, the double hand bag, the heavy bag. You understand? When it's time to do something in a physically, and then it's a challenge. You understand? It's a challenge when time to do that. And you'll realize the kids who come thinking they could do it because they see it on Facebook.
It looks easy.
They
Huh?
think it looks easy on Facebook, but they don't understand the time and energy and effort that it takes to do what they see on Facebook.
Yeah.
You understand? It takes discipline, number one.
Yeah.
Discipline. And I see when the kids come in here, I read every one of them. From the time they come in here, I know who come to play, and I know who come to be serious. Right?
So,
And
sorry. Can adults participate in this as well, or is it just with
who?
adults?
Oh yeah, anybody could participate in it. Anybody. You understand? Because what it do is give you physically and mentally. You get physically and mentally, and it's a beautiful thing. When your mind and your body, it's a beautiful thing when your mind and your body coordinate.
I wish I knew how to box and do self-defense. I'm so
Yes.
every time.
No, but you know the thing it is, you're never too old.
Oh, okay.
You could learn.
Because you
You understand?
I remember in high school, primary school, someone said they can fight me. They were gonna fight me. I know I can't fight. And so what I did, as soon as the school bell rang, I ran home and said, I avoid fighting confrontation because I know I can't fight. I have a lot of mouth, but I can't defend myself when it comes to fighting.
I'm telling you in Bottle Creek, North Cakes, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about that. Me and Elphys Gardner and Riney Williams, and them, they had a place called The Grass.
The Grass.
On the north of the school there. When you step on them, right? If you didn't want to, they used to call it dashing back then. If you didn't want to go there and get your clothes dirty up, you better not go there. Because from the time you go over there and those guys see you, they come and grab you up by your 2-pinch leg and bring it up. Now, they pick you up by your 2-pinch leg, whether you want it or not.
Yeah, so you better avoid it.
Hey, so you better.
Yeah, that's like swimming, I guess.
You better rest your back. So all of that encouraged me to.
That's good though.
To be a fight. It's such a positive thing in the community. Then the kids wouldn't be so angry at each other if they built a relationship with sports.
Absolutely.
If they build a relationship with sports, then they wouldn't want to go out and try to hurt each other in a negative way. Because when it comes to trouble, guns and stuff like that, when you take a gun, go bow, that's the end of that. It's finished. When you go out there looking for trouble, there's only 3 places trouble will get you.
What's that?
Either you in jail, in the graveyard, or in the hospital.
Never thought about that. But you're right. Never thought about
You either gonna end up in jail, you're gonna end up in the hospital, or you're gonna end up dead.
Wow.
So, I encourage every young boy that has a good physical being to come in here and learn something. Because there's so much you could learn in here rather than being out there. Because from the time you start to feel tired, then you're like, do I want? Because if you feel tired, trust me, you're gonna realize the other guy feels just like you. He started just like you. Okay? He started just like you. But it's the second make it out of it, it's the second push beyond.
Yes, you can give up.
Right? If you give up, it's easy to give up. The easiest thing to do is give up. The hardest thing about working out is showing up. If you don't show up, you can't work out.
Yeah, that means you're not.
Right. If you're not motivated. If you motivated, you're gonna want to do. And the minute you get over that, The reason a lot of people don't like to work out, because they get tired,
Yeah.
right? If you don't get over that tiredness, you will never want to work out. But you got to work through that. That's something, that's just a process. You work through it to get to it. It's just like you from A to Z, right? You can't get to Z if you don't start from A.
Yeah. I like that. Work through it.
So it's just about a work, just work ethic.
Yeah. I like that.
You know what I'm saying? It's just your work ethic.
Oh, Mr. Lightbourne,
Cookies.
sorry. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I really enjoyed this conversation. And I hope people watching this, this show will, be inspired. They will have an appreciation of boxing. Do you have any closing remarks you'd like to say to viewers?
Well, to all viewers out there, just take your energy, time, effort, and try to do something productive towards building the nation and the kids. Everybody have a kid. Everybody want to see their kid do well. So let's come together and do the right thing.
Thank you. You've been watching the Drexel Seaman Show, and my guest, of course, is Mr. Gary Lightbourne, who has a professional career in boxing. And here we are in the Turks and Caicos Islands. We have the Felix Morley Center, where they have a boxing ring right here. And a lot of times we complain that, there are not enough activities here in the islands to do, the children have anything to do. But there are. There are facilities. We have volunteers who are willing to help our young children. And so I'm encouraging you to, parents, to sign up your kids to come to this. And the good thing about it, you don't have to pay for it. A lot of things you have to pay for, but you don't have to pay for it. They have boxing, they got the dance studio, they have many different things at the Felix Morley Center, Community Center. And not only that, of course, they have the sports, you got basketball, you got soccer. So I encourage you to enroll your child in something. And I believe that's part of the issue we have in our country. Too many of us are idle. But if we can get our kids in something like boxing, where they learn to defend themselves, learn to get along with one another, I think it'll make a difference in our community. So I encourage you. And I think I like what Gary said, you have to work through it to get to it. I think that's all I need this video. You gotta work through it to get to it. You're gonna find some issues that you might get tired, you might want to give up, but work through it. Work through it, and you'll get to it. Thank you for watching the Drexel Seaman Show. Remember to subscribe.